Kkamara. Hoi hoi. I might need another drink, hold on, haha. Kkamara. Return sorry I took so long haha. Spyrokid77666. No worries lol, just let me do one more thing. Kkamara. Aight, in your own time.
You're watching Reuters TV.
Hey guys, what's going on? Spyrokid here, and today we are, let me just, oh yeah, my mic's on. And welcome to a beginning of a new playthrough, our life beginning and always.
That intro, haha.
Yeah, I don't have anything else. So, welcome to the beginning playthrough of our life beginning and always with Kkamara. He's going to be a little bit of a co-host, doing all the choices and what. Say hey, Kkamara.
Ahoy.
Yeah, nice. Sorry I haven't been streaming lately. I've just been busy with life, and I just relax and whatever. But I'm all around, and we'll start our life in just a moment. But first, here are today's top stories from Reuters TV.
Watching Reuters TV. Here are your top stories.
Wall Street has its worst day since the beginning of the pandemic.
The World Health Organization reveals the real death toll of the coronavirus pandemic.
Two sisters who fled Mariupol pray for any sign of the family they left behind.
This is Reuters Now.
U.S. stocks fell out of bed Thursday, suffering their worst day since the early days of the global health crisis in 2020, and erasing the previous session's gains following the Federal Reserve's rate hike as investors reassessed what a tightening U.S. central bank means for Wall Street and Main Street. The Dow dropped more than 1,000 points to end 3% lower. The S&P 500 fell more than 3.5%, while the Nasdaq lost a whopping 5%. The index now down 24% since its peak in November. Adam Coons is a portfolio manager at Winthrop Capital Management.
The market is in an enormous amount of uncertainty, and uncertainty is one of the biggest killers of any market. And so the fact that we are uncertain about what inflation is going to do, what the Fed is going to do in reaction to inflation, and then ultimately how that impacts global growth is what's really driving markets down today.
Technology megacaps cratered, including Google parent Alphabet, Apple, Meta Platforms, and Amazon.com. But it wasn't just high-growth stocks as the sell-off hit all areas of the market. Airlines, banks, and even energy stocks lost ground Thursday. Weighing heavily on the S&P 500 was Etsy and eBay, after both forecast second-quarter revenue would be below Wall Street's estimates. One of the few stocks in positive territory was Twitter, after a report said Elon Musk was expected to become the temporary CEO after closing his $44 billion takeover of the social media company. The billionaire also revealed on Thursday that Oracle's co-founder Larry Ellison was among investors that would back his buyout of Twitter. Meanwhile, shares of Tesla dropped more than 8%, indicating that investors may be worried Musk's increased involvement at Twitter could keep him from his duties at the electric car maker.
The official death toll from the first 2 years of the coronavirus pandemic is about 5.4 million. But according to a new World Health Organization report, the actual number is around 3 times higher. The UN body said on Thursday there were 14.9 million excess deaths associated with COVID-19 by the end of 2021. Excess deaths are the number of deaths that occurred beyond the number expected in non-pandemic years. One reason for the jump: deaths that were missed in countries without adequate reporting. Even pre-pandemic, around 6 in 10 deaths around the world were not registered, according to the WHO. William Sambori is with the WHO's Department of Data and Analytics.
We do need better data. So one of the reasons why we focus on the excess mortality is because we know the testing data is inconsistent across countries. And we know that there are many people who died before they were tested. So we do need death certificate data to ascertain the cause of death attribution in more detail.
The report said almost half of the deaths not counted until now were in India, suggesting 4.7 million people died there as a result of the pandemic so far, well beyond India's count of less than 500,000. The WHO panel of international experts have been working on the data for months. They used national and local information as well as statistical models to estimate totals, a methodology that India has criticized. The new number also includes deaths indirectly related to COVID-19, such as those who could not access health care for other conditions when systems were overwhelmed during huge waves of infection. It also accounts for deaths averted during the pandemic, for example, because of the lower risk of traffic accidents during lockdowns. In a statement Thursday, the WHO called the data sobering and said that it highlights, quote, the need for all countries to invest in more resilient health systems that can sustain essential health services during crises.
No one's testing that
COVID-19 has
much
taken
anymore.
a disproportionate toll among Native Americans. As of March 2022, 130 Choctaw on this Mississippi reservation died from the virus.
When you lose the first 5, you're going to cry. But it got to the point where I got desensitized.
The death rate among Choctaws was 3 times higher than the state average, and Mississippi suffered the worst death rate per capita in the country. Jeremy Bell runs the local bus service and lost family members.
I mean, it was just like, you heard about your cousin passing? Yeah. Somebody said, what's the worst that you've ever had? And I said, I buried a cousin at 11 o'clock on a Saturday. And I stayed down there because at 1 o'clock I was burying another cousin.
Chronic health issues in the community and underfunding also played a part in the high death rate. The significance of the extent of the suffering is not lost on the tribe's chief, Cyrus Ben.
Our ancestors went through a lot of adversity and tragedy, but to know that we are in the lineage of those that were so resilient, that is what continues to push, that hopefully one day the future generations can look upon us to know that we were strong and resilient in our own rights.
Contestant number 7, Miss Shima Ladania Crosby.
In the middle of the pandemic, Bell named Shima Crosby as winner of the Choctaw Indian Princess pageant. Almost a year on, that celebration is still tinged with grief caused by COVID-19. She lost her grandmother to the virus.
A lot of us are so ready to move on, but we haven't even reflected on what we've lost. So I feel like we need to take a step back, learn what we've lost in order to move forward before we can even forget that COVID happened.
This is footage from inside the besieged city of Mariupol near the beginning of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. It's something of a video diary shared with Reuters by two sisters who managed to escape. Their videos show them dash through the streets amid the sounds of shelling, the debris inside their house. Nighttime bombings set their neighbor's home ablaze. A radio broadcast informs residents they were under control of the Russian-backed separatist region called the Donetsk People's Republic. These videos, their suitcases, and a handful of family photos are what the sisters took with them to the relative safety of Kyiv. 28-year-old Vera and 21-year-old Nicole asked Reuters not print their last names out of fear their family back in Mariupol might face retaliation. On this idyllic park bench in the Ukrainian capital, the sisters can watch Vera's 4-year-old son, Kirilo, at play. But their thoughts are with their family who stayed behind.
Очень хочется, чтобы они выбрались. Не таким путем, как мы, потому что мы прошли.
I really want for them to get out, not the way we did, though. We got out by a miracle, on the verge of life and death. They wouldn't have been able to get through the whole city with us like that, with just a hope to survive, to become free, to come back to peace, and for this to even leave our relatives. Right now there is a chance to evacuate, and we hope that at one point they will pick up their bags, emergency suitcases, and go there, and get out in some way and meet us.
They left a handwritten goodbye to their mother, unsure of when they might see her again. Mariupol has been an important target in Russia's efforts to cut Ukraine off from its Black Sea ports. Russian forces are heavily bombarding the Azovstal steel plant, which stands as the last holdout of resistance in the city. The United Nations and Red Cross evacuated hundreds of people from the city and other areas earlier this week, including dozens from Azovstal during a short-lived UN-brokered ceasefire. Nicole said she has urged her family to try and leave the city, but fears they don't have access to information.
When we got in touch on the phone, I told them, please get out of there. We got out and told them it isn't true what you're being told. Living under an information blockade is really tough because they don't have a radio, no access to information.
In mid-April, the two received a phone call from an unknown number, which turned out to be their mother. They spoke to their mother once more, but the calls have now stopped.
Now, when people ask me, how do you imagine your first day of victory, or how do you imagine your relatives, I can't find the right words and I immediately want to cry, because it would be the greatest joy for me to have my relatives by my side right now.
You're up to date. Check back later as stories develop.
All right, that was today's world headlines. Let's get into our life. Oh, right here. Okay, so here's what's going on. Before, I did stream this with Kkamara before, but I have no idea where that save file is. I'm not even sure if I gave it a different name or whatever, so we're likely going to be doing a new file, Kkamara, unfortunately. Alright, let's just do it like this. Very sorry about that.
Okay.
Okay, are you aware of the gameplay explanation?
I forgot everything that happened anyway.
Yeah. Are you aware of the gameplay explanation?
Kkamara. I think I am.
Okay. Alright, so how do you want your character to be customized? Just tell me what you want to adjust first and I'll cycle through it.
Kkamara. Ite. Kkamara. Show me the face shapes first.
Okay, so this one's round.
Kkamara. Yeah, round's good.
Okay, round. What next?
Give me skin tone.
Hey, thank you. Just. Pardon me. Okay, sorry. Skin tone. Alright, so this is tan, dark brown, pale. Shit, that's pale.
Kkamara. Pale was invisible with the background, haha.
Yeah, that is so pale. By the way, we're on air.
Kkamara. I think I'll keep tan. The colors are pretty extreme, honestly, haha.
Okay, so what next?
Kkamara. Hair front.
Okay. Choppy one. Only 2 tones.
Kkamara. Flip, there are a lot of hairstyles. Kkamara. I kinda vibing with short one.
Sure. That one, eh? Alright, what next? Oh, excuse me. Ah, pardon me. The water touched my U-blood. Sounded. Trying to get more water.
Kkamara. I'm kinda scared to go through hair back, but I'ma go with that, haha. Kkamara. Aight. Don't choke mate haha.
I'm okay, don't worry. So you want air back. Okay. Back. And that's the cycle.
Kkamara. Wow, all these work really well with the short one haha.
Any one that you choose.
Kkamara. Flowery looked real good.
Flowery one. That's good. Okay. What next?
Kkamara. It was a hard choice though haha.
Once you go through each step, you'll be able to change your appearance. So if you don't like it, you can change it.
Kkamara. Hair color front.
What color are you going for? That's all the colors.
Kkamara. I think I like black.
Okay, next.
Kkamara. Eye color. Kkamara. I think I'ma go with air.
Air. Air.
Kkamara. I'm stuck between pink and green.
So this is pink. It's green.
Kkamara. What you think?
It's up to you. It's your life. No pun intended.
Kkamara. I get it haha. Kkamara. I'ma go with green.
Okay. Next.
Kkamara. Let's not be too wild now haha.
Hey, I don't judge the pink-eyed people. The terrific people.
Kkamara. Eye shape.
Eye shape. Okay. Round one. Let's round So each shape has a variation of eyelashes. That's all the variations.
Kkamara. Very terrific people, hand gestures, haha.
Oh, really terrific. I wonder if in the future they'll be able to have that sort of stuff. You can change your eye color.
Kkamara. I think I'm sticking with round 2.
Okay. Alright, next.
Kkamara. That's everything, right? So now all we have is a name and pronouns.
Okay.
Kkamara. I ain't got an idea for name. Kkamara. Oh wait, advert. Kkamara. Oh, that was a short one.
Oh, you're already back? Yeah, I forgot about that. Just be prepared for some adverts sometimes, but I'll try to keep up with them. I do have a display that tells me when they'll come on, and I'll try to make sure. I could probably forget, but... Okay, so for your name, maybe something for your name.
I don't want to use my real name.
Yeah, you could just use your username in some fashion. Maybe like, Kkamara for the first name, and maybe just a K for the last name. The K family. Maybe something like that.
Kkamara. Key for my first name.
And last name.
Kkamara. Because Kkamara is my real surname, haha.
Ah, I see.
Kkamara. We can use Kkamara for the last name, but I was real tempted to use their template of last, haha.
Oh, yeah. Okay. What a great last name. Last. So, Kkamara, are you okay with this?
Kkamara. Yet.
Okay, how do you wish to be described as? They, she?
Kkamara. I'm feeling he/him for this one.
Okay, let's see if we got a voice name in here. Okay, so, this is basically how
He/him, haha.
These are basically, this is basically a feature where Cove can pronounce your name. There's multiple names that we can use that might be available.
Kkamara. I wasn't ready for the slash to be voiced.
Oh, really? Hayden. Hi. Kayla.
Kilton. Kalina.
Oh yeah, right, they could be.
Kai. Kaden. Kayla. Kay.
Kkamara.
Kel.
Kai was so close, haha.
Kia. Key.
Oh, this might be easier.
Key.
Want this one? It's not the name that matters, but the pronunciation.
Kkamara. Yeah, that's good.
Okay, just... Okay, so we got also more options for birthmarks, scars, rosy cheeks, freckles, hand size, glasses. Any adjustments here?
Kkamara. Hand size?
We got medium, chubby, slender. The three options there.
Kkamara. Do we see our hands?
I don't know. I guess it's all referenced in extra. I'm not sure.
Kkamara. Medium.
Okay. Anything else?
Kkamara. Let me look at the birthmarks and scars again.
Okay. These are all the birthmarks. I guess this birthmark is not visible. The hair, so that probably doesn't matter. Those are the birthmarks.
Kkamara. It's probably behind the hair yet.
Any birthmarks here you want?
Kkamara. Keep the one that we can't see, haha. I want to be shocked when we change the hair later, haha.
Okay. And get rid of all the other ones.
Kkamara. Yeah, not the other two.
Okay. Start for the stars. Yeah, you can put them at the top right here. Oh no.
Kkamara. The one right next to the eye look kinda good.
The left eye? So is this okay here?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, just as a little bit of a tip, if you're using your phone, there's an option to have low latency mode. That way, the video transmission will come into your phone much more quicker, but some features are disabled. Just to let you know on that.
And lastly, check the glasses.
Okay. 1, 2.
Kkamara. I ain't got a phone, but thank you, haha.
Okay, I see. It might be in the player settings or something.
Kkamara. I'm not feeling the glasses.
Hey, anything else?
Kkamara. Nope, should be good.
Okay. And these are non-visible, and these adjustments are non-visible to the face, I believe. Basically to describe you through text. Oh, might want to self-unvisible this. Lock in some text. There we go.
Kkamara. I can see some of the clothing types.
Yeah, I know.
Kkamara. Oh, hold on, someone is calling me.
Ah, alright, no worries. Alright, so in that case, we'll just take a quick ad break and we'll be right back.
Kkamara. I have returned.
Welcome back, Kkamara. I was just looking at a news article here.
Kkamara. My friend came back from the pub and he's kinda drunk, haha.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, I was just looking at this article that came out. The headline, Esper says Trump asked to shoot missiles into Mexico to destroy drug labs. Oh, Trump.
Kkamara. That's not how that works, Trump.
Alright, let's resume this here. So. Oh, right. I gotta my camera inside so you can.
Kkamara. Anyways, I'ma go with all clothing types and hats.
All clothing types, eh? Including all of this, eh? The hats. Anything else?
Kkamara. Yeah, haha.
Anything on the left here?
Kkamara. I'm non-binary, so all those clothes is cool to me, haha.
Okay. Nothing in the left.
Kkamara. I will go with an arm birthmark.
Okay. That's it.
Kkamara. And maybe an arm scar.
Okay. Anything else?
Kkamara. Maybe the same thing that caused the face scar causes the arm one, haha.
Probably.
Kkamara. Number backstory.
Number backstory.
Kkamara. Nothing else.
Alright, and that should pretty much do it for us. Alright, and you're okay with all the changes? Ready to go?
Kkamara. Number, haha. Kkamara. This voice is so good. Kkamara. I'm good to go.
Alright. Let's do this. Summer and Sunset Bird was a special time of year. Your usually sleepy town began to bustle. It was a popular tourist destination with people coming all over to enjoy the beach, weather, and the relaxation that came with both. The smell of the ocean, crisp and salty, hung in the air, bringing 3 whole months of school, less vacation with it. During the summer, your moms didn't like you to wander too far outside of your neighborhood, so you knew the area pretty well. That included the people. Families came and went from Sunset Bird, but they mostly stayed and did what your mom called putting down roots. They built businesses, they got to know each other, and they definitely said hello to the nice young kids who waved when passing their stores. Going for a walk around town mostly meant that the familiar, friendly residents waved or asked how your family was, or most often just said hello. So, what would you choose here, Kkamara? This will basically set up your personality and whatever. You didn't really get why they always had to say hi. They saw you every day, but you nodded back at them anyway. You ended up saying hi to a lot of different people, since most of the tourists that came and went every summer were the same ones, and were too anxious to say hi back to the other residents that greeted you. But they all knew you well enough like that. Let me just adjust the stickers. Bottom.
Kkamara. I think I was going for a shy character last time, so I'ma go for that again. The third option, please.
Okay. Secure. Gotta just, fucking thing. Excuse me. There we go. There we go. Alright. Apologies. Alright, third option.
Kkamara. Shout outs to whoever did this soundtrack for real. Ollie _you. Hi.
Hey, Ollie.
Kamsha.
Hello, Ollie. How are ya? Welcome to the stream. What are you up to? We're just going through a playthrough of our life with a friend of mine on chat here, and I think the emote thingy did not function properly. Oh, it was.
Kkamara. I'm making all the decisions. Spyracid 77666. Spyracaric.
There we go. That works. Okay. Alright, anyways. They still smiled at you anyway, and that made you feel a little more comfortable. But today, there was a man sitting on the curb outside your house. He was sitting with his head in his hands, whole body slumped over, and you wondered if he was even a real person, statue that had magically sprung up from the ground overnight.
I'm just popping in to see what others think of the game, LOL. I have 168 hours in it.
Really? I know everything in it. Whoever, or whatever he was, had never seen one before. One thing about knowing everyone in Sunset Bird was that people who you didn't recognize really stood out. It was rare for tourists to venture into the residential district, as your moms called it. So for you, not knowing who a total stranger was set off a lot of red flags.
Kkamara. I'm liking what I seen from it. We tried this before but lost the save file, haha. Kkamara. So we starting again.
Your mom's had a talk with you and your big sister Lizzie about this kind of situation before.
You. Sorry about the file loss.
Choices. You hadn't exactly been listening at the time. I think it could be okay to talk to new people. They mentioned that some people aren't good to talk to, but other types of people can help you even if you don't know. And you remember that it's okay to run away if you feel uncomfortable. You don't have to worry about being like them.
Kkamara. Third option.
Weren't sure about this man yet. Choices. Still, you felt a bit scared knowing that he was blocking the way to your front door. But you were pretty interested. You wanted to know more about what was going on. Whether he was nice or not, you didn't want to be bothered.
Kkamara. I think the second one.
slowed down, your eyes remaining fixed on the man. There was a split second when your eyes met, and you know he was aware he wasn't freed anymore. You raised your eyebrows at the shout. Did he want something? That why he was here? The man stood up and started to make his way toward you. Not wanting to seem too reproachable, you folded your arms and stared.
Ollie_you. Just saying for future. Blue is blunt and cold, yellow is open and warm, and green is reserved and quiet. Tehi Pello, in case you didn't know.
Oh yeah, I was thinking about that since the colors are all different. Interesting, I never knew that. Thanks for pointing that out.
Kkamara. Thanks.
Yeah, that was interesting. I'm pretty sure that had something to do, but I just... no.
Kkamara. Yo, why the voice got to say it like that?
I have no
Kkamara.
idea.
The third one.
You live around here? What's your name? You looked the man up and down, taking in his tan skin and relaxed appearance. His clothes were relaxed, the way he was acting was. He had sharks on his shorts and his stingray tattoo, and you wondered if he was obsessed with the ocean or something. While you made your assessment, he looked at you expectantly, waiting for an answer to his question. Yeah, I live here. I live right there. My name is Key. You continue to say nothing.
Kkamara. He's like a surf bro, haha. Ollie_you. He is a surf bro. He's just a dad on the side. Kkamara. Say nothing.
You? He rubbed the back of his neck uncomfortable, giving you a small smile. Reached into his pocket and pulled out a clean $20 bill. Crinkled in his hand as he held it up to you. Even more confused than before, you looked back at him.
Well...
Could you do me a favor? Nothing bad. Sorry, I should have let me start over. Cleared his throat and stood up straighter.
Flip, we bribing children?
From where you were standing, it just made him look creepier. I have a son. His name is Cove. He was about your age. Cove? That seemed like a strange name for an actual living person to you. You chewed on the inside of your cheek. The guy was definitely obsessed with water. You thought that was pretty cool.
Ollie_you. Walks up to a child and asks, "Hey kiddo, want $20? Kkamara. Second, haha.
He wasn't the only person like that in Sunset Bird. We moved in across the street, see? Gestured toward the house that had been empty. Watched catching the late afternoon sunlight and reflecting off the walls. The gigantic for sale sign was finally gone. You must be Kkamara, right? I met your moms earlier and they told me you were 8, just like him, so... Shook the $20 bill to bring it back to your attention, a hopeful smile tilting his lips at the corner. Can you try to be friends with the boy? Just give it a chance and you can keep this. It's a good kid. You'll like him.
Do you mind?
But you gotta keep it a secret too, okay? Be friendly to say his dad sent you. Eyed the man. Kind of felt sorry for Cove. Did other kids really get their parents to pay for friendships? Yeah, and just to point out how I came across this, the game was in beta, and I was really interested in it, so I subscribed to the Patreon account, and the company that was making this and whatever. Really impressed, and I kept on playing the beta and watching the development go through. It was very, very interesting. I'm still watching it go through with the beta content coming out for one of the DLC characters. I can't name. Derek. I think that's it. Derek. Yeah, it's pretty good so far, but kind of disappointing that they don't have like the 10 moments. Instead, they got like 5. Anyways, Kkamara, don't let me interrupt you. Your decision making. Go ahead. Hey, Kkamara, are you there?
Kkamara. Spyro shows me a bunch of these games. I don't normally play these kinds of games, but I love the ones I do see, haha. Kkamara. Also middle. Restream.io. Trophy, congratulations. You've received 100 messages today with Restream chat.
Nice. Definitely wasn't the normal way kids made friends. Did that. What do you say? Want to make a deal? Took the bill? Didn't want the money? Or you ran away?
Kkamara. This one is a hard one.
Oh. Contemplating your life's decisions?
Kkamara. I want to do all 3 of these deep down, haha.
Well, tell you what, we can make these, we can make one decision and then rewind it back to this. That way you can test how it is.
For you. I have all the DLC. I only got it recently, and I also bought the Cove plushie. It should be here in August.
Nice. Yeah, Cove's a really interesting character. You'll see, Kkamara.
Kkamara. I think I must stay in character and run away.
Right. You spun around and made a break for it.
Kkamara.
I haven't seen this before.
But no, I'm eyeing that bill.
Stranger
Kkamara.
danger. Stranger danger. No thanks, old man. You didn't offer any explanation. Focus on getting away. Bye.
Kkamara. Third one.
Turned on the spot and bolted down the street, ignoring his calls from behind you. What? That's so dickish. No offense. Hey!
I would not say anything if I ran away.
Come back! I'm sorry if I scared you.
Go Sonic Speed.
I don't know how to ask. How else to ask? The soles of your shoes slapped against the concrete sidewalk as you ran. Heat from the sun warm on your face. Here's step 1. First sight. Eventually, his shouting faded into the distance. You let yourself slow down and try to catch your breath, wiping the sweat from your forehead with the back of your hand. Chirping of crickets and all in tall, dry grass echoed around you, and you lifted your head to survey your surroundings. That would be uncomfortable. Glass. You ran right into the hills behind your house's backyard.
So if I chose a different decision, I would not be here?
Oh no, you would still be over here. From here, you could probably get back inside without seeing the guy again. There was a loose plank on the back fence, too small to fit through. You try waving to Lizzie for help.
Ollie_you. OMG, rewatching the intro is like nostalgia TP few fun. Also know you'd still end up here. This is a major event.
The fence was pretty high, but if you stood on the neighbor's shorter fence post first, you might be able to pull yourself over. You would be able to hide here until the left.
Understood.
Until he left, then you'd go through the front door.
Kkamara. Top 1.
Okay. You couldn't yell because the man might find out where you were, but your family would have to see you sooner or later. Took in a deep breath, went to try to relax and couldn't. Weren't sure what, but something told you that you were alone. You glanced around. The boy sitting at the top of the one hill, almost completely hidden within the long grass and white flowers surrounding him. There he is! His head was buried in his knee, staring ahead by himself. For whatever reason, probably just that he wasn't paying attention, he hadn't noticed you yet.
Kkamara. I don't know why this felt relatable to me, haha. Ollie_you. The boy.
The boy? How, Kkamara? You watched him a minute longer, feeling a little bit like you found a deer in the wild. Though deer didn't have green hair, wavy eyebrows, huge glasses, pink casts, bad frowns.
Kkamara. The trying to not make a noise but hoping your family sees you thing I was referring to, haha.
Nice. Or else I was. No one can do anything about it now.
Kkamara. I would probably notice the hair first.
Green hair then. But this new boy did. He watched as it fluttered softly around his face and knees. After a few more seconds, a step forward, then another. Then he glanced your way. His aquamarine eyes reflected the light of the moon. He stopped, raising a hand to acknowledge him and show you weren't scary. Hi. Hey, Space Cadet. Are you lost?
Kkamara. Hi.
With a start, he jumped to his feet, his hands balling into fists at his sides. Didn't say anything, just stared at you in a strange way. He'd been crying. There were traces of tears on his cheeks and knees, soaking the hem of his shorts, and his eyes were still shining with a few more. You'd obviously caught him off guard. He was your age, but he didn't look familiar. Maybe he was the boy that weird new neighbor had been talking about before you ran. The only way to actually know was to ask. Who are you? I've never seen you. What's your name, anyway? Waited for him to say something.
Kkamara. Bottom 1.
Sniffled a little, rubbing at his ruddy cheeks, finally spoke. My name's Cove. You could see him hesitate, shifting his eyes to the side, then back to you again.
Ollie_you. Wait, so, Kkamara, if you're making all the choices, do you just not have the game?
My dad and me, we moved here. Guess was confirmed. So,
Kkamara.
your hill?
Sprio wanted to show me, haha.
Gestured with his uninjured arm to the patch of grass surrounding you, his face falling at the prospect. I can leave if it is. Yep. Can't own a hill. You shook your head.
Kkamara. I am gonna definitely get it when we finish though. Ollie_you. Makes sense. Well, I'm glad you're liking it. The game is free. Kkamara. You can't own a hill.
Why not?
Kkamara.
How could you?
Wait, it's free?
Yes, it is. But you don't have a good computer, do you? Just do. I had a hill back home. Well, this still isn't mine. Oh. sat back down with a thump, resting his chin on his knees again. Ah, yeah. Yeah, this is free, but the DLC ain't, obviously.
Kkamara. I'll have a good computer one day, haha.
Curious about the strange new boy with the odd dad, he sat on the patch of grass next to him. The pure white flowers that covered this hill rocked back and forth gently as the stars twinkled above. The way they dotted the sky made them seem like flowers, too. The night wind was cool as it traveled over the ocean and up the hill, chasing away the heat from the afternoon sun. Why are you here? Why'd your family move?
Kkamara. Why's your family moved?
Oops, struck the keyboard. A quiet hiccup escaped Cove as soon as he asked the question. Almost like they never stopped. His tears started up again with a vengeance. My parents, they don't want to live together with me anymore. The tears fell fast and happy over his flushed cheeks, sticking in his dark lashes. My mom made my dad leave, and he took him with me. It took me with him, and now we have a house here, and I want to go home. The outburst took you off guard. By the time he was done wailing, Cove's chest was even with exhaustion. He sniffled and removed his glasses, wiping at his eyes with the back of his hand before he put them back on again. I hate this place.
Kkamara.
I want my real life back.
His family is divorced. Ollie_you. The amount I want to hug and pat Cove on the head is so big right now. Kkamara. Toughness.
Yeah, it's not easy. I want my mom. I'm sorry. You'll like it here. Just have to get used to it. Stop crying.
Kkamara. I'm sorry.
Flipped his hands underneath his glasses and pressed his fingers against his eyelids. Cove wound himself up again for another long crying fit. Felt bad for him. Forced to come here with no choice. Couldn't imagine what it would feel like to live with only one of your moms. Must be pretty hard. But from way off in the distance, you heard your parents. Key!
Cove?
Kids, where did you go? Cove looked at you, tears still clinging to his cheeks. Don't tell them we're here.
I want to go home.
I don't want to go back to that house. I want to go home. You can handle it. You have to go. Don't worry so much. Sorry, I have to. It'll be okay.
Kkamara.
Choices. Choices.
Ollie_you. Not like this. Kkamara. Sorry, I have to.
Stretching as you stood, you tilted your head back to look at Cove. I can't lie to my moms about where you are, you know?
Kkamara.
And they're going to tell them.
When in doubt, act in character, haha.
Slowly, Cove stood up with you, still looking a little reluctant. His dad's voice rang out again. Cove, can you hear me? He looked toward the sound of his dad's voice, silent, then turned away while rubbing his not bandaged arm.
Sorry.
Still don't want to go. Called Dad yourself? You waited silently with him? Tried to convince him.
Kkamara. Waited silently.
Yeah, I get it. You? Before you could answer, you heard Cove's dad even closer than before. There you are, bud. The trio of parents appeared over the curve of the hill. Instantly, all their eyes landed on you, and they rushed over.
Question: does this game have an auto-save function?
Yes, it does. Like all visual novels. Both of your moms were at your side in a split second. Faces filled with worry. Key, you're here after all. We have been in the park to check for Cove and then heard what happened earlier when you met the new neighbor.
Kkamara. Bless. I don't want to lose it again.
I thought you might have gone off further away. No, we were just sitting in the grass. Why is everybody acting like this is such a big thing? We're okay, don't worry. Cove didn't want to go home just yet.
Kkamara. Bottom 1.
Mommy gave Cove a small smile, then she turned back to you. Thank God you're both fine. Are you two having fun out here? You looked over at Cove, who was wiggling against his dad's tight hug and pushing at his arms. Shrugged. Yeah, yes, I like him. It's good. I think I'm going to marry him.
I misread the first one as we were just touching grass, haha. The internet has ruined me, haha.
Wait.
Ollie_you. I showed one of my fav streamers this and all she cared about was how hot the moms are. Kkamara.
You didn't think that was the right word to describe it, but weren't sure what else to say to your moms. Finally let go of his squirming, scowling son, Cove's dad turned to the three of you.
That's a relief.
Thanks very much for finding him. I really don't know this neighborhood. Good thing Key knows this whole area so well. Absolutely.
Kkamara.
Should be getting home now.
To be fair, I'm aspect but I can see they are probably good looking, haha. Kkamara. The dad too.
It's been a long day for all of us. Say goodbye, Cove.
Bye.
The two of them walked off into the darkness, heading toward the neighborhood. You watched Cove's bright pink cast until it disappeared. Tell you what, we'll have a proper play date tomorrow, okay? Your new friend's dad wanted to bring him by to see you and Lizzie. How does that sound? Sure, can I show him my stuff? Sounds like words. You nodded, ducking your head down.
Kkamara. I'm not sure what the middle one means, haha. Kkamara. But I'ma go with it.
Both of your mums laughed, sounds overlapping into a warm, familiar chorus. Mommy put her arm around your shoulder and led you towards the path. Satisfied and more than a little ready to go to bed after your long, exciting day, you followed them home. Alright, choose your feelings for Cove, Kkamara. This is how you feel towards Cove for this step. It can change later in later steps. So, what's your comfort towards Cove? Direct, relaxed, nervous?
Kkamara. Kkamara. Nervous me thinks.
Hey, and what's your interest? Indifferent? Bond? Or crush? Oh. Eh.
Kkamara. Mayhap fond for now, haha.
Alright. Let's go. Begin step 1 at nervous fondness. Won't be able to change it again until step 2.
Kkamara. Yeah, that good.
At the breakfast table the next morning, you finished your food faster than usual. Your sister Lizzie had run out earlier to go play, but you stayed put. Today, just like your moms had promised, Cove was coming over to hang out. Excited to see your new friend again, Key? You nodded, smiling slightly.
How sweet.
I'm so happy he moved in.
Okay.
With that said, are you done with your breakfast? Yeah. Haha, I don't know, am I? Your bowl was entirely empty, so you nodded.
Kkamara. Yet.
All the exasperation an 8-year-old can muster, you looked at your empty cereal bowl, then at Mom.
Okay.
Okay, attitude kid, we see. Good job. You should be here soon. Cleaning up began, and then on cue, there was a knock. It was hesitant, like the person wasn't sure they were in the right place. Still loud, though. We need to get a more obvious doorbell. I know. Could you get it? Wiggling out of your chair without really pushing it back, you made your way to the door. Hey, Kkamara family. Thanks for having us. Mr. Holden, as your moms had called him, and his son were here. Cove looked different in the bright lighting of your living room, and when he wasn't crying. His dad standing in front of him, and mommy behind you. Both looked at each other. Pleased to see your new friend again, you smiled to Cove. Smiled back with some hesitation. You want to see my room?
Okay. Take care.
Let us know if you need anything, you two. Have fun, kids.
See you.
See you later, son. Play nice. You led into your room, puffing out your chest a little bit at the sight of your treasures. There were lots of stuffed animals. Cool bed, window to look out. It was a great room. You hadn't had anyone to show it to in a while, but you were really proud of it. You leaned in a little closer to one of your drawings on the
Yeah,
wall.
the little penguin thing.
I like this. Me too. I drew that. Thank you. I don't.
Kkamara. I drew that.
Cool. Smiled at him. You were proud of that particular piece of art, and you were glad he noticed it.
Everything okay on your end, mate? Aha.
All I did was slam a door. I had it open because now it's like 19. He turned to look around the room a little more, studying the books on your desk and the pictures on the walls. Started to feel a bit nervous. You felt the atmosphere was kind of awkward. You were glad for the company. You hoped you liked your room.
Kkamara. The second one.
You wanted to say something, but didn't know what, so you let him keep looking. Then his eyes landed on the tiny box of beach things you collected, tucked away by your door. Took a step towards it, before hesitating and pointing at it instead. What's that? A hoard of stuff I found on the beach.
Oh.
Do you have any driftwood in there? Dragging the box in the middle of the room, both flopped down next to it. Yeah! Gestured to a piece at the bottom still covered with specks of sand.
Neat.
This is a good collection. Got the sense from the tone of his voice that he wasn't just saying it nice. Or to be like Shiloh, he actually meant it. Ah, Shiloh's coming over. Shiloh? My sister's friend. He wants to, you. Do I have to see him? It'll be okay, I think. Here, I found this shell in the log and... He pulled out seashell after seashell, explaining where you'd gotten each one and holding them up against the light. There were big ones, small ones, pink, purple, and orange. Most of them you washed off in the bathroom sink when you brought them home, cleaning off the stand. Over the past few years, you'd eat their scientific names. The collection was so huge and varied that you had lots of funny stories to tell them for all of them. Your voice faltered a little bit, but you kept going as best you could.
Kkamara. Wow, the top one is like me in real life, haha.
You want to choose it?
Kkamara. I will say the bottom one though.
You were really proud of your shell collection, and it made you happy that Kobe was interested in it too. Apparently fascinated, either by the stories or by the shells themselves, Kobe listened with what looked like the full attention. It was a new experience to be the center of such dedicated focus. But Cove hadn't been mean to you, so you didn't mind. You smiled at him every now and then, while showing your collection. Kids, come down to the living room. You could tell the idea was making him unhappy, but Mommy wasn't giving you much of a chance to hang around. Cove hadn't been like this meeting you. Yeah, Cove hadn't been like this meeting you. You guessed it was because you found each other by accident, and a parent didn't make it happen. Mr. Holden must be right telling Cove his dad was part of that would be a bad idea. Before you knew it, you both been escorted downstairs and deposited in the living room, ready for Shiloh's visit. The two of you sat side by side on the floor of your home's entryway. I brought the box of shells. I want to keep looking at them. Great. Okay, but be careful. Should have asked. Excuse me.
Kkamara. Middle.
I will. Weren't sure if you could trust someone else with your treasures yet. So you stayed next to him while he opened the lid and peered inside. Cove reached in and pulled out a big orange shell. Oh, like he hadn't spoken aloud yet. He turned to you and held it up, his eyes shining. I think this one's the best of them. That's my favorite too. I like a different one best. I can show it to you. You can take it.
Kkamara. I feel like the middle one is more in character, but I like the third one more.
Okay. Cove looked at you in surprise, his eyes going wide. Really? Sure, you like it a lot, right? Uh-huh. But I don't want to take it from you. It's okay. Got the impression he was hesitant to accept something because he didn't know you very well. Missed it. Or you let it go.
Kkamara. Insist.
No, it's okay for you. You pushed the shell against Kove's chest, telling him to receive the present, but Kove firmly shook his head and kept his arms tightly at his sides. It was a battle you couldn't win.
Kkamara.
At least not today.
Headcanon. It's our least favorite and we're trying to get rid of it, haha.
Kove was your neighbor now. Maybe you could give it to him another time. The two of you were still sitting on the floor, looking through your collection of beach findings, when the doorbell finally rang. Kove jumped, startled by the sound. Since the person hadn't knocked, you figured it was probably Shiloh.
Kkamara.
You know where to look for that.
But no, I thought the idea was sweet.
Lizzie's friend? You nodded, but that didn't seem to make Kove feel better. It was already obvious that Kove didn't hide his feelings well. You could tell what he was thinking right away. This isn't a good idea. I'm sorry, there's nowhere to go. He's at our only door, and if you go upstairs, he'll find you. Kove glanced around the room, his eyes wide, finally paused with gaze locked onto the back of the house. I can go out the window. He was already walking towards it. Scrambling to think of something to say, you stepped forward and then paused. You want to break your other arm? Shiloh's the least scary person alive. Cheerlo, Shiloh's gonna like you. Please don't get hurt. I'll come with you. Good idea, let's go.
Kkamara. I love how assertively shy he is, haha.
What are you gonna do, Kkamara?
Kkamara. The second one.
Every single bunny rabbit is scarier than Shiloh.
Because I think I remember this character.
I don't want to see him. I don't know him. Teased him? Or comforted him? Or encouraged him?
Kkamara. Middle.
You're right. Meeting new people is really hard. I'm sorry. Thanks. Shiloh poked his head into the living room. It's impossible to know for sure if he heard what you were saying or not, but you guessed that he had.
Hi!
Hi, Key. And hi, Kove? Kove shot you an uneasy glance.
Hi.
I'm Shiloh. It's nice to meet you. Yeah. You have a lot of freckles. Right, I do. What are you guys doing? Looking at shells.
Can I do it too?
Awesome. Kove shrugged, then looked back at your box of beach finding. What about that one? The plan for the afternoon, at least as far as you were concerned, was to sit and look at the beach things once more, some more. You weren't really in the mood to do much of anything else, especially if Kove was having fun. You held out a recent find to Kove, a scallop shell that had washed up on shore. It's a pretty color, and I like my cast. Beautiful glittering ink did look a little bit like the wrap around his arm. Ink is a nice color. Okay.
Oh?
Your favorite? Not really. What is? Maybe green? Might be yellow. Oh, those are all cool.
I guess.
I like those colors too. There are better colors. Not sure how to deal with this suddenly more awkward silence. You look back at your shells.
Kkamara. Top.
Awesome.
Both of them smiled. Like usual, it didn't take long for Shiloh to get fidgety. Lizzie was his favorite, but her around Shiloh didn't seem to know what to do with himself. And Ko wasn't like your sister. He wasn't that much like you either. Is he coming back? Don't know. Where'd she go? I think she's at the beach. Probably. Is she playing at her park? I was lit up with the mention of the park and looked towards you. The park? Yep, but it's old. Can you show me? I want to go. He started getting up before he had even answered. Shiloh jumped up beside him in excitement. Really? You do too, right, Key? The park is fun. I love it. Park is pretty great. No.
Kkamara. The no is so blunt, haha. I choose the middle.
Yeah.
Right at the beach. There's lots of fun stuff to do. And lots of sand. It has a jungle gym and a bunch of swings. That sounds like it could be cool. So are we going to find Lizzie? I don't know. I never really wanted to see her. Wanted to check the park out. Adrift without any direction, Shiloh finally turned to you. Okay. He perked up. Both boys wanted to go. It was only fair. After getting permission from your moms, the three of you were ready to head out. It was a short walk to the park. Lizzie had convinced your moms that it was so short she should have always been allowed to walk there by herself. When you found her, she was hanging out at the jungle gym, swinging back and forth. Hey, Lizzie. Her face lit up when she saw you, big brown eyes going wide. Key, Shiloh! Hi! She dropped to the ground and landed with a soft thud in his hand. In a split second, Shiloh had abandoned you two and scrambled over to stand by her. You were used to being left out when it was preview, but now Cove was here. You wondered if he would leave too. Who's that? It's Cove. He's new.
Hi.
I remember. Hi, Cove. Welcome to my park. Nobody ever comes to play here, so this is where we get together. She gestured wildly with her arms as if to send the area to the newcomer. Without interrupting Lizzie's speech, Cove whispered in your ear, quiet enough that the others would hear. I thought kids could own places like parks or hills. You couldn't help but laugh a tiny bit. While Lizzie continued talking, you took the chance to kick off your shoes and wriggle your toes through the warm sand.
In this town?
Probably not. I don't know. Nice, huh? This neighborhood, I'm the one who comes up with the ideas. You are?
Kkamara. Yo, the call back. Bless this game, haha.
Yeah, I am. Who else could handle the job? Lizzie's the oldest. By a lot. My mom said you're Key's age.
Yeah.
Thought so. I'm still the only one in this group with double digits. What about other kids? Other kids? There aren't any. We're the only kids here, and Shiloh is just visiting from another place. Not even tourists really bring their kids here. This is the land of the ancients. Be careful that the oldies don't try to steal your youth.
Oh.
For a second, it looked like he might cry again. Something in his eyes shifted and he looked back at Lizzie. Kind of old people. Like moms, dads, or grandparents. Grandparents who don't have kids. They hate kids. But why? We haven't done anything. Only some of them don't like kids. Stop saying stuff like that. You're going to upset them. Yeah, they're really bad.
Kkamara. Top 1.
You interjected quickly, hoping that Lizzie wouldn't take things too far. Cove sniffled, his forehead creasing with worry. Lizzie was staring Cove down, but Cove wasn't even looking at her anymore. He didn't seem to care that she was there. He went into his own head. Shiloh was the next one to speak, completely unaware of the situation. I met Lizzie in Key in school. You'll see tons of kids there when summer is over. I don't want to go to new school. Don't want summer to end. Shiloh looked down to the dirt. He hasn't had much luck striking up conversations with Cove. I like summer vacation a lot too. All the building tension in the air suddenly vanished when he laughed. At Shiloh's discomfort, at how weird she thought Cove was, at something else entirely, he didn't really know. But she laughed, face scrunching up.
Okay.
Welcome to Sunset Bird, Cove. Take a seat, put up your feet, and get used to it. You offered him a small smile, and that, at least, looked to reassure himself. For the rest of the summer, Cove was always there. You saw him more often than Shiloh, and on some days when she was in a bad mood or busy, you even saw him more than Lizzie. He became a staple of your everyday life, the way sun and lunch at the end of each were. During your first summer together, you really liked Cove. He was a fun person to play with, and he seemed to like playing with you too. Of course, that was only the start of things. Alright, so this is where we pick moments that will analyze basically our personalities and our interactions with Cove.
Kkamara. Oh yeah, this bit.
Yes, so we have 10 moments. Shopping, grown up, long day, sand castle, fireflies, library, ghost, barbecue, runaway, and sleepover. Which one do you want to take a look at first?
Kkamara. I think some of these are new from when we last did this.
Yes. DLC ones, I think.
Kkamara. I want to do Ghost.
Right. The night was incredibly still. Really couldn't ignore how silent it was. It's almost... You could even hear Liz snoring in the next room. It was hard to believe how much of a blur today was. Summer sure did slip right past you. You flicked through the moments like pages in a scrapbook as you laid in bed. The ones that stuck out all seemed to include your new neighbor Cove. It was funny how he had become such a big part of your life in such a short span of time. Thought a lot about what adventures you could have tomorrow until sleep started to catch up to you. Then you heard something scrape against the window. That uncommon for the tree branching in glass. Summer breezes were worse sometimes. But the more you tried to ignore it, the louder it seemed like it became. Like something that was trying to get your attention. You lifted your head off the pillow to get a better look. Nothing was there. Nothing you could see, at least. You just went back to bed, in your imagination. You had to investigate the mysterious sound. Too creepy to ignore.
Kkamara. Investigate.
You practically jumped out of bed and crept down the stairs to go outside. Your moms were still awake. They stayed up late. Luckily, they were watching TV and didn't hear the soft click of the front door opening as you slipped past. You looked around the neighborhood for a few seconds, checking over each individual house. It looked normal, but it didn't feel that way. You knew you weren't supposed to be out here right now. It was exhilarating. It made you regret your decision. It scared you.
Kkamara. Middle.
Without the protective seal of your mom's approval, you felt very vulnerable. There must be a reason you were allowed out in the day and not at night. Not knowing precisely what that reason was made you feel even more afraid. These with which you had slipped out only served to make you feel worse. Your moms didn't need to be vigilant because they had trusted you not to do exactly what you were doing.
Key.
Twitched at the sudden call, immediately calming down upon seeing Cove walking up to you. It was strange, and yet also completely normal to have him appear like this now. What are you doing? I saw you standing around in the middle of the street from my window. You weren't sleeping either? Why not? Cove turned up his lips to smile, almost as if you were amused by the question. Because... You hear a weird noise? You should be in bed. Guess what? I'm glad you're here.
Kkamara. Top 1.
You could tell you hit the nail on the head by the way his eyes widened. Yeah. Ooh, I heard it too. That's why you came out, huh? Cove hesitated for a moment, looking down the street before his aquamarine eyes fell on you again. Dare you? Yeah. No. A little.
Kkamara. A little.
Dude, I feel better that you're here. Me too. Two of you delicately smiled at that. Cove even chuckled a little bit. Nice that you both felt the same way about things. I was kind of wondering if it was the wind, but what if it's not? What if it's a person? What if it's something that's not a person? The unsettling noise suddenly rushed through the air. Cove and you flinched. Sounds even worse than before. You were about to agree with him when the noise came yet again, tearing through the still night. Two of you rapidly looked around, trying to find the source, but to no avail. There was no sign of an answer to this puzzle. Thought that could be anything. It had to be a ghost. There's gotta be a regular reason for it.
Kkamara. 3rd.
Didn't believe in monsters or anything like that. That only meant that whatever was causing that noise had to be something much more real. Shuffled closer to Cove, trying to stop yourself from shaking at the bad thoughts that were entering your mind. Hey, can you tell where it's coming from?
Not really.
Then we'll have to look more. Somewhere else. Well, maybe we'll see something. Okay, let's go. You clustered together as you walked the familiar streets of your neighborhood, drawing strength from each other's presence. Shadows cut corners and angles where you didn't expect them, distorting the features you saw every day. The noise came again, shrill and hard. It set your teeth on edge the way it ground its way through you. Cove's throat bobbed, his eyes glistened, dim light. Stayed frozen to the spot. Took a deep breath to calm yourself. Comforted him. You offered him your hand. You focused ahead.
Kkamara. Deep breath.
Sucked in a lungful of the cool night air, letting it out slowly through your mouth. Your parents had mentioned that it was good for relaxing nerves. There was no question that you were afraid of whatever the noise made, but you didn't want that to stop you. Despite your fear, you had to be brave.
Kkamara. I was taught meditation as a kid to calm myself when scared, haha.
Oh yeah? Cove stepped into front of you to look at your face. He was serious. Thinking dude, Key. Lifted his hand up for you to take. You accepted his hand, didn't take his hand. You gripped his arm instead.
Kkamara. 3rd, haha.
You appreciated his offer and wanted the support, but felt that you needed a stronger hold. You twisted both your arms around his elbow, holding him closely. Cove nodded, accepting. Cove shut his eyes and pressed his lips together.
So...
Where do you want to check? The park. Beach? The hills behind my house.
Kkamara. Beach.
The beach stretched out in front of you. Nothing in sight along its sands, no matter which way you turned. Part of you imagined the noise as some creature of the deep washed up off the shore and calling for aid. That theory had to be taken off the list for now. Still, you spend enough time on the shore to know that the real finds often required a sharp eye and careful attention. The sound screamed past your ear. You hunched up, shoulders high, as if ready to endure a blow. But the only damage was... Didn't appear to be any immediate danger, despite every bone in your body telling you that something was right. But you kept going forward, ran away, you snuck back to your neighborhood quietly.
Kkamara. Keep going forward.
You couldn't stop when you had already gone so far. You had to find out what was going on. Your nerves were rattled, and you and Cove had ended up huddling together again. That had seemed to become the default response to anything scary. Alright, it's time for a little bit of an ad break. We'll be back in about 90 seconds. Don't go away.
Kkamara. Praise our ad overlords. Kkamara. Asterisk R. Kkamara. I can see again. Spyrokid 77666. Just having a snack lol. Kkamara. It cool haha.
And welcome back, everybody. We are still continuing with our life, always and beginnings with Kkamara. We're looking for whatever's out there. Night sky. Anyways, your nerves were rattled, and you and Cove had ended up huddling together again. That seemed to become the default response to anything scary. Excuse me. He then whispered to you, "Let's see if there's anything here." Cove began to comb the beach for clues. You followed suit. The angry wind sent grains of sand rolling across the beach like waves. You stayed clear of the water, which was rough and choppy tonight, and scoured the area for hints as to what might be happening. You saw something glint in the sand, full of promise, but when you eagerly uncovered it, you found that it was just foil from a chip packet. You stowed it away with a sigh. Did you find something? No. Cove shrugged and gave you a sympathetic smile. That's how it goes sometimes. You like hunting for treasures on the beach too, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever found anything mysterious or weird? You were expecting him to mull the question over for a bit, but Cove answered immediately. Teeth. Like a shark's tooth? You'd seen those for sale in shops, though you'd never been lucky enough to stumble across one at the beach. No, not that. People teeth. No! Yeah. Know how grown-ups sometimes don't have their own teeth any longer? And they get fake ones so they can still eat? You nodded, listening in fascinated horror. I found some. Top half. How did you know it was the top half? It had the pink top at the mouth bit, like this. He opened it wide and pointed at the roof of his mouth. You let out a squeal. What did you do with them? Mom took them from me. I don't know what happened to it after that. That was too bad. Think of the prank opportunities. The right thing to do. Gross. Way stranger than the stuff I've seen. Still not as strange as things I found.
Kkamara. Gross haha.
I hope you washed your hands a billion times after you touched them. I washed them, I'm pretty sure. Once you were satisfied nothing out of the ordinary was to be found on the beach, you had to consider your next step. Though the noise wasn't as clear as when you first stepped outside, you could still hear its shrieks wandering through the peaceful night. You decided to check the park now, decided to check the hills behind your house now, decided to go back home now.
Kkamara. Park.
Private playground was as empty as ever. You could just about hear the mysterious sound if you were quiet, but it had simmered down to a whisper. Cove was practically shaking when he realized it had progressed far enough to reach there. Followed hard, but faced you with a determined face. My dad says, good detective work starts at home. He watches a lot of crime shows. Maybe it could be good to look closely. Okay. The two of you swept through every corridor of the park. No monkey bar, swing, or tire went unchecked. Huh. He was squatting on the ground, pointing at something in his hand. Intrigued, you checked over his shoulder so you could see too. Cove held it in his open palm. Coiled inside was a length of sparkly chain, grains of sand embedded in the fine links. Lifting it up, it became apparent how this had come to be here. In bracelets and necklaces enough to recognize that the clasps which held it together had snapped. It's broken. It's silver. Werewolves hate silver. Other things too, I think. If this noise is caused by a monster, we can protect ourselves with it. You'll scare it away with junk? What if it's not real silver?
Kkamara. Top 1.
Yeah! He flicked the chain as if crackling a tiny weapon. I wonder if there's anything else we could use out here. Cove considered this, frowning. I should have grabbed some garlic before I left. Frown evolved into a scowl. It probably wouldn't have worked. Dad doesn't have real garlic. It's fake garlic? It's flakes in a jar. Not real balls you have to cut up like Mom used. Flakes might be easier to use. Still real garlic, just already chopped up. That can't taste as good. We won't need it anyway. Garlic. Used to eat a lot of garlic sausage. Oh shit, my call. I'll be right back here.
Kkamara. Middle. Kkamara. Top middle.
Oh, it's raining heavily outside. Sure.
Kkamara. The it's still real garlic one I'm trying to say haha.
Okay. Alright. Now I understand. Okay.
Maybe.
From his begrudging tone, you could tell that he was still firmly on the side of fresh garlic. Top of the hour, by the way, 9 p.m. on the Pacific Coast. You had exhausted all the possible places to search in the park. Straightening up, you mused over your next step. It's gone. What? Then you realized it. The noise, which had grown fainter and less frequent during your search, had died off completely. You and Cove shared puzzled looks. But either you had an answer for what had caused the mystery sound, or made it go away. You tried to hide a yawn behind your hands. You should go back home. The night was still as you walked home. None of the usual background noises or the eerie whistle from before. You could hear every step you and Cove made like a coffin theater. The two of you came to a halt outside your front door. Never before had it looked so ominous.
I want to know so bad though.
You wrung your hands nervously. Your absence, haven't noticed? You sneak out a lot? The first time? Not really. Lots. Lying? Lots. You were telling the truth. Do you do that a lot, Kkamara? I don't think I've ever done that.
Kkamara. Top 1.
Yeah, I've never tried to do it till now. Thought so. How did you know?
I never done.
Yeah? I hadn't seen you out my window this late before. That was fair. Though it could have been possible that you were so good at sneaking that this was the first time he had caught you. Yeah. Are you worried about getting caught?
No.
It's so forthright that you believe him completely. But your dad, when he get mad or sad if he catches you? He's never happy with what I do. Oh. Sympathized. You encouraged Cove to see it more positively. Stayed out of it. Didn't know how to react to that.
Kkamara. Bottom. Kkamara. Because I don't haha.
Not knowing how to respond, you went back to staring at your front door. Alright, I'm going in.
Bye.
Okay. Good night, Cove. Thanks for coming with me tonight. I'm not sure I could have done it by myself. I wanted to go with you. Beamed at him. Turned the doorknob as slowly as the clock's hand, holding your breath for the telltale click of the lock and then nudged it open. When all that happened was the door opening, rather than the blaring alarms you feared, melted with relief. Back inside your house, you were surprised to find your mom still watching TV. Weirder still, it looked like they were on the same show that they were watching before you left. Yeah, you were positive you've been out investigating for hours. Perhaps you could use their distraction to your advantage. Just get up the stairs, you'll be safe from suspicion. But how could you get there? You tried to sneak past? You decided to walk into your own house nonchalantly. You couldn't. You had to give up and come clean. How do you handle the Kkamara?
Kkamara. I'm choosing the bottom one, but the middle one is so funny to me, haha.
This was all way too stressful. After already suspenseful night, you couldn't handle any extra tension. Moms? They looked up at your call, caught off guard. Key? They abandoned the couch and their show to hurry over. They were still in a state of surprise. You weren't in trouble yet.
Are you okay?
What are you doing down here, sweetie? You have a bad dream? Told the truth? You lied? Did not answer? What are you going to do?
Kkamara. Truth.
I went out to find what was causing the noise. Time seemed to drag as the color drained from your mom's face.
Huh?
Out where? Out of your bedroom? That's what you mean, right? You pointed to the front door, confirming their worst fears. Mommy remained frozen in shock while Mom launched into lecturing mode. Hey, Kkamara, it is not safe to be out this time of night by yourself. If something was wrong, you should have come to us. I thought you knew better than that. I trusted you to know better than that. Anything could have happened to you. If we don't know where you are, it's a lot harder to keep you safe. The voice was soft, yet it still cut. You pawed at the ground with your feet. They were saying made sense. It was scary. I don't like being scared. I just wanted to see what was there.
Sweetie.
Kkamara. Which one is which again?
The one on the right is the mom, the left is the mummy. Mommy wrapped her arms around you, cradling the back of your head.
Is Mommy the tall one?
Yes. You clung to her. You're brave for facing your fears, but you need to be smart too. It was scary because it might possibly have been something dangerous, right? That kind of worry is something you should tell us about. Okay. Mom shook her head with a sigh. Let's get you back into bed where you belong. Right. We'll have a talk about this in the morning. You pulled a face at that, but didn't protest. All things considered, they could have been much harder on you. Once your moms had left, you turned over the night's adventure in your mind. It was still hard to believe that you really done it. Sure, you were going to get a talking tomorrow, but it had been a night that you'd never forget, for better or worse. You hoped that Cove gotten home okay, though he hadn't been worried. Being told off was never fun. Wriggling down deeper underneath the sheets, your thoughts turned to the unsolved mystery. Excuse me, you and Cove had only just begun to scratch the surface of it. Maybe you'd solve it, and maybe you wouldn't. What mattered was that you'd shared the experience with each other. You were still so energized by the night's excitement that you tossed and turned in bed for some time, thinking up theories to share with Cove when you next saw him. Sleep eventually claimed you. The adventure merely resumed you. In the morning, the lecture continued, but ultimately your moms let you off with warning. It had been pretty unusual circumstances after all. You later learned Cove didn't end up in trouble for the nightly escapade. It was unclear whatever that was because his dad chose not to punish him, or if Cove got away with it. As for the sounds that started this all, the adults around were convinced that it was nothing more than the wind. For your imaginative mind, that wasn't nearly enough. How could they accept something so simple so easily? Maybe it'd make more sense when you're grown up too. And that was Ghost. What do we tackle next, Kkamara?
Kkamara. I loved it.
Yeah. Nice.
Kkamara. I think. Kkamara. Long Da. Kkamara. Asterisk day.
Long day? Oh, okay, I see.
Kkamara. But long da too, haha.
It was another scorching summer day. The kind where no sooner had you finished up one cup of water, you were already filling it up again. Everyone else had something on, so that afternoon it was just you and Shiloh. This didn't happen much, especially since Cove had arrived. Without Lizzie around, Shiloh looked to you for all the answers. It made you feel... pleased? Frustrated? Nothing, really.
Kkamara. Third one.
Shiloh went along with whatever you wanted, so he wasn't a bother, but he also wasn't that much fun. You drained yet another drink and frowned at the empty vessel. Your thirst was gone. You still craved something icy cold and refreshing. Something sweet. Something like... popsicle. Ice cream cone. Ice cream sandwich.
Kkamara. Middle.
Ice cream. Nothing beat a classic creamy scoop of ice cream on a day like this. There was something like that to be found at home.
Kkamara. This game is making me hungry right now.
Outrageous. You knew that without needing to look. Your moms didn't keep sweet in the house. Outside, there were plenty of places where such goodies could be obtained, but they were shops and demanded payment in exchange for their products. Sighed. You voiced your predicament out loud. You asked Shiloh for help.
Kkamara. Middle.
I want an ice cream cone. Shiloh, who had been draped over the sofa, perked up.
Yeah.
That sounds good. We don't have anything like that in the house. I don't have any money. Oh, let me check if I have any. Shiloh rummaged in his backpack and proudly produced an assortment of coins, plus one stray button. You set the button aside and counted the coins in piles. Just over $1. You announced this to Shiloh. He had almost certainly came to the same conclusion, but he had been watching you expectantly. Not enough? Start.
Kkamara. It's a start.
Shiloh beamed at you. We'll need to find some more. Okay. The two of you lifted couch cushions, ducked tiny hands down crevices in the sofa, and under furniture and scoured the back of the drawers. Most of what you found was useless or gross.
I wonder why Shiloh is friends with Lizzie.
Bent paper clips, fluffy wisps of dust or sandy crumbs, but every so often you would strike silver or bronze and add it to the growing pile of coins. Dusty and disheveled from checking every room and squinting into every tiny nook, the two of you finished pulling your find. Shiloh held his breath as you counted the coins again. $2.53, and 2 buttons. You didn't know what the second button had decided to join the party, but you were too pleased with your successful haul to throw it out. Is that enough? Figured he knew the answer without looking to you for confirmation. But the thrill of your success and the reward that would follow canceled out any other feelings you might have had about that. Yeah, you could now afford something at the shops. Just one thing, but that was infinitely better than none. Shiloh clapped his hands. Yay! Two of you dashed outside, the promise of sugar boiled you on to your destination where, breathless but happy, you stared at the overwhelming number of options. You knew what you wanted, but it wasn't just you who had contributed the funds to get the treat. Keen to notice your pause. Aren't you getting an ice cream cone? Shiloh asked as though he was entirely separate from the decision, rather than someone with a stake in the outcome. You mind? Shiloh cocked his head to the side. It was your idea. You should choose. You went ahead and got what you wanted originally. Are you really sure it's okay? You tried to get something you both wanted anyway.
Kkamara. Third one.
It wasn't fair to you to be the only one to decide when he had been a main factor in making this happen. Some of the money came directly from his backpack.
Kkamara. I would feel so guilty if I didn't, haha.
What do you like? All of them. They're so good. Pressed further. But what do you really like? Popsicles or ice creams? What's your favorite? Aw, it's so hard to pick. I don't know. Frustrated, you cut to the heart of the matter. You want me to choose? Yeah. And that was that. You got the dessert you wanted originally, and hoped Shiloh would actually like it too. Finally, the reward for all your hard work was in your hands. You laughed at the soft ice cream. The sweetness perked you up. You held it up to Shiloh so he could take a turn. He shook his head.
You can finish it.
Didn't want any? After everything he did to help get it? That was weird. But you accepted the offer? Tried to include Shiloh? You hesitated. I have a theory. Shiloh's a simp.
Third.
It's okay.
It's okay, Key. You want it more than I do. And I'm really happy that we got to play today already. You finish it.
Kkamara. Haha.
Well, it wasn't worth arguing further. The frozen treat was being worn away by the sun and starting to trickle dangerously toward your fingers. If you waited much longer, then neither of you would be getting to eat it. Alright, thanks. The two of you began to head back home as you ate. You offered the treat once more to Shiloh, but he refused again. You walked side by side on the shore in silence, but your thoughts kept drifting the boy beside you. Why didn't he speak up for himself? It's almost as if Shiloh didn't know how to say what he felt, or was too afraid to. Figured that it was his problem and didn't care. Are you scared of me? Thought that was kind of sad. Are we friends?
Kkamara. I think. Kkamara. Are you scared of me?
Shiloh opened his eyes wide, evilly caught off guard by the blunt question. No way! But you didn't tell me things. Like what you want to do or what treat we should get.
Kkamara. Top 1 really said skill issue though, haha.
That's not because I'm scared. Because you have better ideas than I do. Unfortunately, this was yet another thing you couldn't entirely believe Shiloh on. You had hoped it was true and that he really did feel okay around you though. Shiloh made you unsure about setting a label on the experience of spending the afternoon with just him. There had been good times and there had been confusing ones. We're positive of one thing at least. The treat was delicious and that it was nice. The sun was low on the horizon as you returned to your neighborhood. There you spotted two very familiar figures up ahead, Lizzie and Cove. You opened your mouth to make your presence known to them just as you saw the tears on Cove's face. You walked straight over, Shiloh at your heels. Once there, you defended Cove, took a moment to make a joke. accused Lizzie of causing trouble. Carefully asked about what happened.
Kkamara asked what happened.
About a time machine, the only way you were going to find out was by asking the witnesses. Lizzie might have done something, but she could have been in the wrong place at the wrong time, or even come to Cove's aid. You wanted to hear the story. Cove, what happened? Oh, you already said that. I got yelled at. He took a deep, steadying breath. Some grandparents got mad at me. Sorry. Lizzie jerked her head in the direction of a nearby house. Your heart sunk. You knew exactly what had happened. Every year, the same mean old couple rented out that condo for the summer. You, Lizzie, and Shiloh knew to stay away from them, but Cove couldn't have. They're like that with everyone. Even your mom struggled to find anything nice to say about that. But the elderly pair particularly took offense to kids. It didn't matter if they were really nice like Cove. Yeah, Lizzie said. Lizzie drew herself up at that. She looked pointedly in your direction. I was helping. That's cool. Is there anything I can do?
No.
I'm just gonna stay away. Or you could, could teach them a lesson. There was a devilish glint in her eyes. What? You should ding-dong ditch them. Go ring the doorbell and run. They'll be great because they're so slow. They'll never catch you. That's dumb. I don't want to go near them ever again.
You're just saying that because you're a chicken.
Aye. Cove glared, but did take the bait as he turned to you. You're not a chicken, are you? Yeah. Click, click.
Kkamara. Is that what the kids are calling it?
You'd rather just avoid them. You thought they deserved worse. I'll do it.
Kkamara. Ding dong ditch them?
Yeah. Apparently that's a thing with children. Buggers.
Kkamara. I'll do it.
Really? Took a deep breath and nodded. Lizzie squealed with delight. Look, go hide. Run as soon as you hit the bell. Good luck. Lizzie Shiloh ran across the road to take shelter in the bushes. Even once they'd settled down.
It's not what we called them when I was a little one.
What did you call it? You can make out two child-sized shapes staring from between the leaves. Cove's like, ah! You know where to look for them, though. And so you told yourself that the grouchy old people wouldn't spot it. Cove sighed, his gaze flickering to the house and then back to you. Careful. They'll be okay. Leave the door, and you, one last look before joining Lizzie and Shiloh in their hideaway. The weight of 3 pairs of eyes on your back was heavier than anything you'd carry before you approached the door. Hesitate as you reach for the doorbell.
Kkamara.
Then...
Knock down Ginger.
Whoa.
I have no idea why, but it's the same thing, haha.
Sounds racist. Just kidding. You rung it. Didn't ring it.
Kkamara. It's fortunately a hair color, so it ain't that bad, but I get the same vibes, haha. Kkamara. Rung it.
Slapped the buzzer and ran. Blood thumped against your eardrums with every step. Did you make it in time? Approaching the hiding spot, you knew that there wasn't time to go around the bushes as the others had done. Took a shortcut, leaping over them. Or, to be more accurate, crashing to the tops of the bushes and then falling over to the other side. Cove quietly hissed as you unwittingly collided into but by the way his arms were out, it seemed he had intentionally tried to cushion your landing.
My friend was upset, so I think it makes sense, haha.
Yeah. That seems kind of mean. Shh. She put a finger to her lips and nodded at the house. You disentangled your limbs from coves and spun around to see the old man framed in the doorway, peering back and forth suspiciously. You covered your mouth with your hands, but it wasn't enough to stifle your giggles. Maybe he spotted one of you, or maybe it was the leaves you displaced while jumping, but he locked eyes with the bush and stormed over in your direction. Shiloh gasped and looked at Lily. Run! Your sister did not hesitate to take her own advice. Neither did Shiloh.
Add.
Alright, then we'll take the break and we'll be right back.
Kkamara. Fortunately, I can still see your thing in the little corners, so I didn't miss anything.
Are you back with us, Kkamara?
Kkamara. I am back.
Alright, let's go back into it then. Welcome back, everybody. That was so short. Run.
Kkamara. Is that fairy tale music?
It is. Your sister did not hesitate to take her own advice. Neither did Shiloh. You got up, but seeing Cove struggling to extract himself and stand up with the only functional arm, gave him a hand up before taking off after the others. The old man's hollers propelled you all from the street to this sanctity of the hill. Only once you were safe did you notice the stitch in your chest and the ache of your legs. You flopped down, the blades of grass tickling your face. Lizzie, who had taken the lead in the end, was already lazing on the ground. Four of you took a moment to catch your breath and enjoy the feeling of cool grass against your skin. Cove lifted his head. I told you there were mean grandparents around here. Cove rolled his eyes, then decided this wasn't dismissive enough and rolled his whole body away from your sister. Lizzie chose to ignore his response and started chatting to Shiloh, eagerly joined in the conversation. In the back of your mind, you knew you'd be second fiddle again to Shiloh once Lizzie came around. It always went like that. It was fine, you thought. Still felt a little sad about how much time you spent together today. And it was always annoying.
Kkamara. Is this still in beta?
Well, the DLC for Derek, it's still in beta. The rest of this is already released to the public.
Kkamara. Mid.
You had been hoping the two of you might become closer, but you had to let it go. He was happy where he was. There were other things to attend to anyway. Wriggled closer to Cove. He had calmed down. Most part, was suspecting a flower.
Oh, so this is fully out. Wow, and it's still free?
Well, 5 moments of each step have to be bought with DLC. His fingers pinched the stem and tilted the white petals toward him. That's a poppy. Cove glanced at you in acknowledgement. Back to the flower. And the type of poppies on this hill have the name White Linen Poppy. Mom told me. He quirked a smile. That's funny. He ran a finger around the edge of the petals. Doesn't feel like cloth. Need a lot of them to make anything. He nodded and released the delicate plant. Evaluation complete. This is my kind of flower. I didn't know what it was called. Thanks. It's mine too. I like roses. Buttercups are really great. My favorite is snapdragons. Hibiscuses are the best. Peonies are pretty. I love sunflowers. I pick tulips.
Wow, that's a lot of options.
Orchids are the most special. Type your own answer. I like all flowers. I don't care about flowers. I only know what my mom tells me. Which one would be good? Obviously something to remember by.
Kkamara. Tulips.
My mom gets them on special days, and they look really nice. She's nice too. Yeah, you're nice like both of them. Thanks.
Kkamara. But Lord, there is a lot of options.
He moved onto your back with a small smile and looked at the darkening sky. The blanket of clouds reminded you of a thick throw you curled under on cold, rainy days. You wondered if the clouds would get soft. They lazily floated on by, fleeting from each other, merging and morphing into shapes. Saw a dolphin. Saw a car. Saw an alpaca. Saw a smiley face. Saw cloud shapes.
Kkamara. Cloud shapes, haha.
You nudged Cove and pointed at the sky. What does that look like? Cove looked up at the sky, angling his head back and to the side.
Kkamara. Alpaca is very specific one.
Finally, he shook his head.
Huh?
I don't see anything. Really? Really? What do you see? Clouds! Chuckled at that. All of a sudden, light faded from the sky, and the moon rose higher. Lizzie got to her feet, dusting strands of grass from her bare legs, and excuse me. The hell was that? And surveyed her surroundings. Okay, I see. The ocean, visible from the crest of the hill, beckoned with every sweep up the tide. Let's go to the beach. There was no argument from the other two. Shiloh was still Shiloh, and Cove would never say no. The shore? He was a child to see. You want to go there too. Too tired to argue. Were happy to do what the others wanted. Objected to the plan.
Kkamara. Third one.
The beach wouldn't necessarily have been where you'd choose to go next, but if that was the others wanted, then you weren't going to spoil the fun. You stepped onto the sand for the second time that day, but it felt different at night. The beach was nearly quiet at this hour. Abandoned sand castles and footsteps in the sand, too big to belong to any of you, were the only indication of how busy it had been hours earlier. The four of you kicked shoes off and removed socks and walked along the water's edge. The waves tickled your feet. I wonder what would happen if you tried to take a bath in the ocean, with shampoo and everything. That would be bad for the fish.
Jeez.
I didn't say anyone would do it. Jeez, you don't have to be serious about everything. You're the one who asked what would happen. This is what would happen. It hurt the fishies. I like bubble baths at home. They're a lot of fun. Me too. Bubble baths are luxurious. Never heard Lisa use that word before. Mommy loves to have bubbles in her bath. She'll turn the lights off and have candles. I'm gonna do that next time. Hey, when's your mom coming to pick you up anyway? Not for a while. Busy. What about your dad? How come you never talk about him? Nobody does. Don't you know you're not supposed to ask something like that? Why would someone want to talk about something you never talk about? Kept your eyes on the ground, watching your toes get swallowed by waves. Even if Shiloh never seemed upset when this topic came up, it made you feel awkward just having both of your moms. It's okay. I'm like Lizzie and Key. I don't have a dad. I don't have moms. I just have one. She's really great. Oh, sorry. I only have one now, too. My mom isn't here. She's back home. Just my dad with me.
Sorry.
Never had a dad or anything. I don't feel bad. At least sad that your mom is gone. Cove nodded. He joked about Shiloh's mom getting together with Cove's dad. Even if they're all different, our parents are good in their own ways. He didn't say, what the fuck is this? What is this? Wow.
Kkamara. That one is wild, haha.
What are you going to do?
Kkamara. I think the middle one.
Okay. Kova couldn't muster a response. You don't think he truly disagreed, though. Silence broke with a splash as Lizzie kicked in your direction. Cold water and sun sand splattered against your legs. Lizzie giggled, foot still outstretched from the kick. Cove joined in, striking the incoming waves to make a splash of his own. Shiloh scurried out of Cove's spray zone with a grin. Made a run for it. He retaliated.
Kkamara. Yo, house music.
Fun time.
Kkamara. Retaliated, haha.
You used your foot to smack the water pooling around you, sending an arc of sea foam flying back onto your sister. You laughed as she spluttered, some of the salty seawater having landed in her mouth. She spat it out. Yuck! Lizzie chased you, intent on revenge. You dashed up and down the coast, taking it in turns to be the predator and the prey, as well as joining forces to take down Shiloh or Cove. Alliances were slightly forged and wordlessly broken. Everything was fair game before.
Kkamara. Sibling rivalry, haha.
Shiloh's brief explanation was drowned out by the biggest splash yet, caused by him falling face first onto the ground. That would have been bad enough without the wave that followed, cascading over his prone body. Shiloh sat up, shaking his head like a dog coming in from the rain. As you all hurried over to check on him, hair was plastered to his head and soaked clothes clung. If there was any part of him that was still dry, you couldn't see it. That was crazy. Are you okay? Yeah, my foot got stuck and I fell over.
You dumbo.
Way to go, Shiloh. You offered some help up. You let him get up by himself.
Kkamara. Offered him some help.
Shiloh didn't take your outstretched hand. After a moment, you dropped it. Lizzie was too busy snickering to notice and held her hand out to Shiloh, too. He reached over and took it. Slowly, he started to pull himself from the ground. Then he slipped on the slick sand, dragging him and Lizzie down just in time for another wave to hit. The water rolled over them.
Sorry.
What were the odds of that happening twice in a row? You thought that they must be low, but there's no way Shiloh would do something like that on purpose and pretend it was an accident, especially not to Lizzie. Even if your relationship with Shiloh felt unclear, he did at least like her a lot. Lizzie was his favorite, right? Smiling boldly, Lizzie extracted herself from the ground and wiped a streak of sand from her cheek. She didn't intend to let this embarrass her. Shiloh got up again as well, this time without incident. Still looked like a drowned puppy. That didn't stop Cove laughing at the two of them. Then it was time to call it a day. The four of you made the journey back home, leaving a trail of wet footsteps and sand in your wake. Damp clothes may have weighed down some of the group, but your spirits were high. Your arms swung side to side as a cool breeze flowed past. Your moms were outside chatting to Cove's dad. We're back! Your mom's faces fell as they took a that you were all in, ranging from messy to soaked.
Now,
Elizabeth, is that all you have to say for yourself? You brought half the beach back with you. Certainly did. What's Marigold going to do when she comes to get Shiloh? Is that what you wanted to be for the long drive home? Bold and filthy? Lizzie's expression turned sulky over the scolding. Being the oldest could be fun, but also meant she was the first to get in trouble when something went wrong. Mr. Holden, on the other hand, chuckled as he ruffled Cove's mouth and patted her. You've been out making memories, Bucko? Glad you had a good time with your friends. Cove used his slightly moist, crassed arm to push his dad off. Mr. Holden's eyes widened when he noticed that he had gotten wet. Now he was wet too. I think they could have found a less risky way to spend time and just had as much fun. That may be right. Kids, what can you do? Come on, Cove, let's get you cleaned up and dried off. We won't want that cast to have been reset. Cove winced at the thought.
Okay.
Attaboy. Mr. Holden casually bent down and plucked Cove up off the ground, ultimately holding Cove against his chest. Sand was already transferred from Cove onto him, but that didn't seem to bother Mr. Holden. Cove protested being carried, but only got a reassuring pat on the back for his trouble.
Take care.
Good night, Cove. Thank you for the talk, Cliff. Night, Kkamara family and Shiloh too. Signed to his fate, Cove twisted his body in his dad's arms in order to turn around and wave goodbye. Smiling, you returned a tiny wave of your own.
Fine.
Well, we better do what we can to fix you guys up too. Come on, everybody inside. I want you to march straight to the downstairs bathroom. Yes, Mom. Okay, Lizzie, Mom. Don't worry about stopping to wipe your feet on the map this time. That won't do much good tonight.
This game is pretty cute, haha.
Sitting on an old beach towel your mommy had found, you waited in the hall. Until you were less sandy, you weren't allowed to go to your room or walk around the house. But you did get to eat a sandwich for there. It felt like an indoor picnic. You happened to decide that Shiloh would wash first and borrow some of your clothes. He was already finished and packed away in his mom's car. Miss Fields had come to collect him a little while ago. It was a bit of a funny experience seeing about that hat on for once. Lizzie, being much more cooked than you, got to go in the tub next. It wasn't a bubble bath as she hoped. This was a no fun allowed cleanup session, at least that's what she claimed. Not much longer would be your turn. When the bath was done, you'd have to go right to bed. After a day like this, though, you were glad there weren't going to be any further events. Drifting off to sleep sounded like a great idea. And that is Long Day. What do we have next? Hey, Kkamara, what do you like to do?
Kkamara. Can we do all of these, or is there a limit?
No, there is no limit. You can even proceed to the next step.
Kkamara. Wait, does the voice not know how to say or?
Or. I have no idea.
Kkamara. Anyways, I choose Shopping.
Okay. Come back before it gets dark, alright, sport?
Kkamara. It said OR before, I swear, haha.
Oh. The familiar voice drifted across the street and drew your attention away from the snail you've been watching inch slowly across the pavement. Cove waiting in front of his dad, pushing his green hair back off his face. Where the breeze was blowing it over his glasses. Pardon. He looked to be paying only a mild amount of attention, as he was being handed a few slips of green paper. It reminded you of when you met Mr. Holden, although he's probably not paying Cove to be friends with himself. Cove's dad seemed to feel your gaze somehow, or maybe he made a noise, because a second later his eyes were on you. He waved you over with a smile. He looked happy to see you, but you still felt a little weird for getting caught. You gotta learn how to be more...
Kkamara. Feeling sleepy, mate?
Yeah, a little bit. He brushed your hands together to free them a stand, then jogged over to join the two, smiling at Cove first, then his dad. Hi.
How's it going?
Good to see you again. What excitement are you up to today, Key? Nothing. Toed the pavement in front of you. Be nice to tell them about the sale you found, but you don't know if they liked it. After you finished answering the question, Mr. Holden's attention returned to Cove. Fine. He was preoccupied with folding the bills he had in a tiny rectangle.
I was gonna try and do all of these events before bed, but if you need to stop before then, that's cool.
Yeah, like, it'd probably almost be hard to do that. We probably did about like 3 hours of this so far. Yeah, I'll probably need a break. Yeah, so much reading for me to do. Excuse me. But yeah, it is a really good game.
You are a trooper, haha.
Yeah. I've been up since like, probably like 9 AM today. Now it's 9:44 PM. So about a little bit over 12 hours.
Kkamara. How's your voice holding up?
Not too bad. Starting to feel a little bit of a soreness from talking a lot, but yeah. Pretty much. Yeah, it's been a busy day today too. Hanging out with my worker, then I'm here, then I played video games earlier with someone.
Kkamara.
Pretty full day.
I was woken up by my brother turning up, so I was doing something with someone all day today, haha.
Yeah. Oh, good lord. Yeah. Guess it was busy for you too, eh? Yeah. I gotta figure out what to do with all that money that I won and that I got.
We had a similar day, it seems, haha.
Pretty much, I guess. Whatever games I have here that need. Sure. Just Oh, Dramatical Murder. I've got to finish doing that. I was doing that with Shot, I think. That's another visual novel. A boys love visual novel.
There's been a few new games I wanted but haven't gotten yet.
Other games. Still have a lot of them to try out, but I'm so addicted to watching Dragon Quest. Well, right now I'm actually streaming Legend of Dragoon. There's been a mod that retranslated the dialogue to make it that way you can actually understand what the Japanese translation actually said. And there's also a lot of grammar fixes, whatever. In some ways, the translation of the game is a little bit off, so that's what they're doing basically.
Kkamara. When aren't you streaming Legend of Dragoon? Haha.
Yeah, I actually did that about a week ago. And I got up to, well, basically.
Like a direct translation?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Basically. Yeah, and the translation is completely different too. And there's actually, I think, a little bit of censorship on the English translation, but that probably wouldn't even matter these days, I guess.
Kkamara. There's also some censorship.
Somewhat. I don't know, but there were some moments where the characters swear and whatever. I'm kind of interested to see what they do, because there was another retranslation that was only for disc 1 where it made Dart say shit, the damn. Basically. Oh yeah, I still have Persona 4 to go through. Too much shit to go through.
Oh, swearing.
Basically, yeah. Ah. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Yeah, that's probably going to be it for me tonight.
Kkamara. Technically Japanese doesn't really have an equivalent of swearing, so I heard. So it's probably a translation thing, haha.
Probably. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to call it for tonight. Probably just go to bed and rest and maybe look up some stuff.
Kkamara.
Shit.
Haha, we can start this event next time.
Yeah, probably not tomorrow because I gotta go.
Kkamara. Thanks for playing the game for me. Kkamara. This was real fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too.
I was getting super into it.
Yeah, I do. How good is your computer even anyway? Is it just starting to grade or something?
Kkamara. Yeah, whenever you have time. Kkamara. The one I talked to you on Facebook on is hella dying, haha.
Jeez. You need to get yourself a cheap smartphone or something. Oh well,
Kkamara.
economy, I guess.
But this one I play games and watch streams on is better.
Okay. Well, whatever you do, I'm sure it'll be fine. Alright, well, guess we'll just end it there. Thank you guys for watching our like beginning always at Kkamara Part 1. Of course, thanks to Kkamara for coming in and basically directing this stream, and also to Ali, you for coming in and watching and supporting. Don't forget to like and subscribe the YouTube archive video.
Kkamara. No problem.
Yeah, and thank you guys for watching. I'm SpyroKid. We'll see you guys next time.
Kkamara. Night folk.
Yeah.